Good morning, second graders. Can anyone tell me what this is? Keegan.
A treasure map.
A treasure map. So what can we use a treasure map for? Great.
Knowing where lost treasure is.
So we could find lost treasure. What else does the map tell us? Keegan.
You could go past a volcano where you're going to find the treasure.
So it can tell us certain features, so like a volcano and the Pirate's Cove and there's a shark reef. So it tells us the details, right?
It tells you what things that you'll need to go by to know which way to go afterwards.
So it tells you which paths to take too.
Yeah.
What other kind of maps have you maybe used before? Keegan?
All the states map.
So state map. Drake?
Global maps.
A map of the globe. So a world map. So today, to start our lesson, we are going to read Me on the Map by Joanne Sweeney. And this book is going to teach us a lot about maps and help us with our activity for today. So this is me. This is me in my room. This is a map of me in my room. This is me on the map of my room. So you see how her room, here's a picture of her room, and then she made a map of her room. And it's not exactly the same, right? But it shows us what's like her bed, and it shows us all the important things in her room. Drake.
It shows the placing of it so that maybe she can know how to get around.
Right. This is my house. This is the map of my house. This is my room on the map of my house. So if you see here, she has drawn out her room. She's got her brother's room, her mom and dad's room. There's a bathroom. So she drew out the map using what? What is she using here? Keegan?
Your cousin pencil, and she, but that she knows, that, she, when she goes out of her room, that she knows where, if she wants to get, how to get,
So she knows where the hallway is and how to get around. Drake?
She used a ruler and 5 pins.
So she used different colors, and she also used, do you see how she used different shapes?
She used a ruler.
So this is my street. This is a map of my street. This is my house on the map on my street. So here she's got a picture of all the houses on her street, which is Oak Street. Up here we have a picture. And again, they're not the same, but they are similar. Great.
Use crayons again.
Good. She's coloring them. This is my town. This is a map of my town. This is my street on the map of my town. So here's a picture of her town. And then here's a map. What are the differences? What can't we see on this map that we can on the picture of the town? Great.
It's 2D instead of 3D.
So
it's not like it doesn't have angles.
So we can't see the 3D objects, right? It's just on like paper.
You can't see the rows to make you can't see the rows on the map. Those.
You can't see the bridge, and we can't see the buildings, but we can see these streets, right? And then we can see that there is a bank right here, because here they've drawn a rectangle and put bank. Right?
It doesn't have colors.
And it doesn't have all the colors of the buildings and stuff either, does it? This is my state. This is a map of my state. So what state does she live in? Keegan? Kansas. And then she's showing her town on the map of my state, which is Pleasant Grove, right by the capital, Topeka. Great.
Shows how half of it is like has more water and then the other part of it's like desert-ish.
Right. So it shows the rivers, and this has a lot of green. This is my country, the United States of America. This is a map of my country. So we have the United States, and it shows all the states in the country. Great.
Our state's near the middle.
And we are right here. She's trying to point to Kansas. She says, this is my state on the map of my country. Now we have what Greg was talking about. This is my world. It is called Earth. It looks like a giant ball. If you could unroll the world and make it flat, it would look something like this map of the world. And then this is my country on the map. Great.
Has the 7 continents in it.
Shows all the continents.
North America, South America, Africa, Europe.
So here's how I find my special place on the map. First, I look at a map of the world and find my country. Then, I look at a map of my country and find my state. Then, I look at a map of my state and find my town. Then, I look at a map of my town and find my street. And on my street, I find my house. And in my house, I find my room. And in my room, I find me. Just think. In rooms and houses, on streets and towns and countries all over the world, everybody has their own special place on the map. Just like me on the map.
On one of the pages, the page before the last page, it shows things that originated probably from those places.
So it shows
things that people do in those places.
Right. So let's look at Keegan.
On one of the pages, it had the same color on one side and the green the grass on the other side that's green.
Right. So if we want to find out where we are, starting with the 7 continents map, how could we find that out? Drake.
You would go and you look at North America.
So we'd look at North America, and then where is our country in North America? Keegan?
Right here.
Good. Right there. So then, Drake,
or in
question?
Between me. No, or in between the Arctic, Pacific, and Atlantic.
Right. So then we get to our country, and then how could we find out where we are from this map? Keegan? What do we need to find?
We need to look under Nebraska.
Under Nebraska to find our state, right?
Mm-hmm.
And our state is Kansas. Drake?
It's in between Nebraska, Colorado, Missouri, and Oklahoma.
It is in between, so we're surrounded by Nebraska, Colorado, Oklahoma, and Missouri.
And it's in the middle.
So then once we have found our state, we can also break that down into counties. And then we have a map that looks something like this. So on a Kansas map, Allen County, which is the county we live in, Drake,
you can find Iowa,
is all the way down here in southeast Kansas. And then right up at the tip is Iowa. Keegan?
It could, there's one right here for us to know that that's our country.
That's our county, and our town or city. Alright, sit down. Great.
Also, if you go like this way, I'm pretty sure you can find the center of your house.
Yes. So then we have a map here that shows our streets in Iowa. Just like in our story, it showed her town. Great.
If you go and you find...
So we could find our house, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you can...
Sit down.
See, First Street.
So we could go and we could find First Street. And then we could go and we could find Peach Street, right?
The house should be right here.
And then we know where our house is. Good.
So,
So now we are going to make a... You need to sit, sir. Now we are going to make a classroom map. Alright, now that we have made our classroom map, we have our map using our shapes that we know in different colors. So that when we make our map key, because if we were to give this to someone else, they would need it to know how to read our map, right? Great.
The map key also tells you what everything is.
Correct. So the map key tells us what each item is, and then the map shows us where those items are in our classroom. So what your activity is going to be is you are going to get to make, you just sit. You're going to get to make a map of your bedroom using the shapes like we did in our classroom map. And then you will have the opportunity to share those with the class.